everyone, it's Sally and Jeff from Candid Tourists.
Hi everyone.
And today we are off to Richmond.
Again?
We're off to Richmond, Tasmania again.
Now you've covered Richmond before.
I have covered Richmond
and
before.
it was a good video.
I thought so.
So why are you covering it again?
We're on our way out to Richmond because we've been getting... we're on our way to Richmond because I've been getting into a little bit of Tassie history for a little while, so has Jeff.
Oh, I was going to say.
And we have been collecting up a few books around old buildings and places to go in Tassie that were built way back in the 1800s. So a very good place to go if you're interested in that kind of thing is Richmond, being one of the oldest towns. And out at Richmond there is a miniature model of Hobart town what it looked like back in the day. So we are headed out to go and take a look at that. And while we're out there we'll do a bit of a walk around, although I don't know how much walking I'm going to do because in our last video you would have seen that we were listening to a Navy band, and then shortly after that I flung myself off the platform of the building and did some damage to my leg, which was really fortunate. I tell you what, when I fall over I do it spectacularly, don't I?
It was a big one.
It was a big one. Yeah, so it'll be a tentative walk, but we'll take you through and show you a little bit more of Richmond today. If you're on your way to Richmond, you head toward the airport and then you take a turn off. Just look out for the signs that say Richmond, and that will put you on Richmond Road. And there are a lot of things to see along the road on your way out to Richmond. This is where you'll find quite a few wineries. Coal River Valley is one of our favourite ones that we go out there, and then there's a really good one called Puddle Duck. I know a lot of friends who go out there, take their children because they've got a bit of a dam there, and then they can wander around and have a bit of a play. So that's pretty popular. Frogmore Creek's out here as well. They do a lot of functions and weddings. It's a bit classy. You've got the Coal Valley Farm along this road. There's also a Peter Rabbit Garden. We went to look for that one day and couldn't quite find it. There's a museum that's open by appointment that you can go in. He has a radio telescope and he talks to you and shows you about all the history and how you can go about having your all about the radio telescope. Sorry, the camera's just decided it's going to turn a corner with Jeff. There is the cheese. What's the cheese one called? It's
I'll tell you in a minute. We're driving past it. Pine Ghana.
It's not Pine Ghana. We're a bit far away from Pine Ghana. Wicked Cheese. Wicked Cheese is up toward Richmond as well, up the Richmond end. There's a strawberry farm out here, so you're coming with children and it's that sort of seasonal time of the year. You can go in and you can pick your own strawberries. So that is a really good thing to do with the kids if you have kids. Just trying to think what else is out here. There's a ton of other wineries that I haven't even mentioned that are along here that we've never stopped in.
The Puddle Duck.
Every Man and His Dog.
Every Man and His Dog.
Is here.
There's Poolies.
That's right.
There's a lot. And listen, if you're coming to Tasmania or to Hobart and you're on a cruise or you're in Hobart, you're looking at a 20-minute drive from Hobart to Richmond. So yeah, if you're going to catch an Uber or you're hiring a car or...
Sorry, can I just interrupt?
No.
That road we just went past, if you're... The caravan park at Cambridge is just up that road, so you're right on this side, so very short drive from that stay, and they have Nate's restaurant, so they do a good pizza apparently, and there's a mini golf there too. Sorry to interrupt you.
I forgot what I was saying now.
Oh.
There's also a good caravan park in Richmond itself, but it just seems to be full all the time.
Why wouldn't you want to stay there?
Well, they're limited things to do, aren't you, really? I mean, you just said there's lots to do.
There is lots to do. So just over that way, you see the radio telescope, so that's where that museum is that I was telling you.
Very dry in Tasmania at the moment, as you can see. Need a spot of rain.
Actually, it's very odd weather today. It's really windy outside, and it looks really rainy, but then there's real pockets of blue sky as well, so who knows what the weather's going to do. So those of you who are travelling down here, we talk about 4 seasons. It's a real thing. It's not something that we just make up for tourists. This is a really pretty drive. It used to be 100 kilometres an hour along here, and
used to have little trees on the side as well. They're really nice.
And they dropped that down to 80, which is so much safer on this road. Quite a few accidents on this road. People people stopping and wanting to turn off to go to places.
All of this was all historical farmland, and it's all been purchased, and as Al said, it's all been turned into wineries. And there's just grapes on the left, grapes on the right. It's just everywhere.
Grapes to the left of me, grapes to the right. Here I go. And they're drinking again.
Frogmore Creek.
It's really nice in there.
Real expensive.
Yeah, I went to a wedding in there, and the food was beautiful. And you get to sit on the deck on the other side. You can face right down to the water.
This is what it used to be like pretty much the whole way, isn't it? Foliage on both sides.
It used to touch in the middle. It'd be like a big tunnel of trees that you used to be able to drive through.
There's a telescope over there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yep. So the Coal River Farms just here on the left.
To me, it's a bit of a dud. They don't actually make anything themselves, I think, except for chocolates. They do chocolates, but they sell
cheese.
They sell everyone else's cheese and sell everyone else's wine. And
I think they all do that. I think it's one of those.
We could make their own. All the wineries make their own.
Yeah.
But they're sort of like a.
But a lot of the touristy places that you go to, they have a collection of Tasmanian goods. Everywhere.
Providores.
Yeah, Providore.
Providores.
So if you've missed something, like for instance, if you've missed Anvers chocolates up north, and you wanted to really grab some of their chocolates, never fear, because every other outlet will sell Anvers chocolates. That's kind of where I'm going with that.
You can see over there on the right-hand side, I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's the actual flight path into Hobart. So if you're flying straight in instead of flying out and around, that's exactly what you'll fly over, all these rivers, the Richmond River, and straight into the airport. And expect a bumpy ride, because it normally is.
Yeah, especially on a windy day like today. So that must be a new one. It's got a nice new sign at the front. Some apples. Somebody's got some apples going out here.
Come on, mate.
Scenic driving. So the trip out to Richmond is usually around 30 minutes.
Just said 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Well, it's 30 when you're behind cars and driving this slow, isn't it?
These guys here have got.
He's going to probably turn off soon. So.
They sell
little apricots. So along the roads here, you'll see little sheds and things like that set up on the side of the road. They usually do a courtesy system, so have a little bit of cash on you, so you're not going to be able to punch your square reader at those places. A bit of cash on board's good.
Did you say square root?
Square reader. Those little white things everyone's got attached to their phones.
Just wondering why you're doing maths while we're driving on the weekend.
There's another one. It's selling plants and jams. You can just go shopping, just drive along Richmond Road, just click shopping. Probably get bread. Yeah, bread, fruit, veg, honey.
Sweeter.
Fruits.
Which woman? Honey? Puddle Duck.
Yes, Puddle Duck Winery.
This is an interesting place. It actually started off, and they'd say, what was it, BY something, BY food or something.
Like a picnic, I think he's about to take that.
You bring your own food, and then they supply the wine.
Yeah, I knew that's going to turn off. Oh, and not very fast either. It's a reverse bring your own.
Reverse bring your own.
Yeah, it's on the sign. Reverse bring your own. So
take your own food. I think they do now do platters and stuff like that. Most of the wineries you can sit down and have a cheese platter or something like that. But these guys actually, they tell you to bring your own food.
And there's so many places that you can sit around. There's some caravans in there. Maybe they're taking caravan stopovers too.
Maybe.
I think most wineries should start doing that. Offering, you go in and you get a bottle of wine, but you get to stay on the vineyard as long as you're self-sufficient. I think that'd be a great idea.
If you haven't been in Tasmania, don't be surprised when you see a lot of sheep. So we have a lot of sheep. Sheep are everywhere. I think New Zealand's the sheep capital of the world. Well, it is. But I reckon we follow it pretty closely. Second.
I hope you're enjoying this little drive out to Richmond. Taking on the full journey here. nice to come out of Hobart and be this close to farmland as well.
How far out? 20 minutes or half an hour? 20 minutes.
Whatever you want to make it.
Everything in Tasmania is 20 minutes. Hobart to Richmond, 20 minutes. Hobart to the airport, 20 minutes. Hobart to Kingston, 20 minutes. Hobart to Glenorchy, 20 minutes.
Well, it's just like when you go to Melbourne and you're walking along and you think, oh, I want to get to the MCG. Oh, we're going to get a tram. Oh, no, it's just over there. And then you get a bit closer and you think, oh, no, it's just over there. And next thing you know, you walk 20 kilometres.
Just on your left here, Al, is the strawberry place.
That's the strawberry place. You pick them. They grow them. You pick them. You pay a fee. And they're about done.
Still pretty rare.
Yeah, there are a few there actually. Some sunflowers as well. It gets very busy.
It does.
I've seen that place with hundreds of people with buckets out there.
And they pull out those strawberries every year, the plants, and they replant new ones.
Yeah.
Now I think that's normal, but here's wicked cheese also on the left.
Wickets.
Lunches, cheese platters, desserts. Yeah.
Really nice. They do good cheeses there. I think just up here around the bend is the Every Man and His Dog.
Yeah, it's a, I don't know, they've tried to promote this one and maybe, I don't know how
I think it's only a small winery, it's not big, it's just a bit boutique. And for a lot of the places down here have had experience like we have even at home with the veggie garden, things are growing in weird ways this year for some reason. I think it's all the rain that we had rain non-stop leading into Christmas, and that's really impacted a lot of crops. Things are coming in later than normal.
Little public golf course on the left hand side coming up, and just past there is a beautiful old house. What's it called?
Prospect House?
You'll see it here, it's just in front of us. We come around the corner. You can't really see it, it's covered by trees.
Yeah. Pooley Vineyard. Pooley do special nights. They did a Fawlty Towers night out here once. And they had when the jazz festival was on, they had a guy who was playing sort of Frank Sinatra classics, and you could come out and it was a free event. You could sit out in the gardens of the house and listen to the concerts. Prospects in there.
Can't really slow down.
No. And we're coming into Richmond now, so that's our drive through into the town.
1824.
1824. I remember the first time we drove through Richmond when we were on holidays, and it was just like a step back in time.
Step back.
It's quite unexpected initially.
Caravan Park's just there on the left hand side.
Up that way?
So you could walk into Richmond. Speaking of walking, do you want me to park here?
I was going to park down the back of the jail. Unless you want to park all the way down here. I don't mind. It's up to you. Because the little place is up here, so this is a new maze now. The old maze got pulled all the way out. It's a museum just there. And they built a brand new one, so it's only been open for a little while.
Love this. It's a new building they built, but they've built it to the same style as as the old area, which is good.
We've got
Ashmore's fantastic breakfast there.
That's really nice. That's a really good shop there. There's a woodcraft place here, so if you're after anything built with hewn pine, they now have the old Richmond pubs here.
Always a bit stinky, that pub.
Well, it always smells like fish when you go in the dining room, but it's really nice. There's a lavender company there, so all the lavender goods. You've got Village Store.
This used to be our favourite, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been through a few different owners.
Yeah.
Down here to the right is your Richmond Bakery, so it's just down there. You've got the Sweets and Treats shop. And Little Town Hall, usually have markets on, so probably some markets on today, being a Sunday.
It's always super busy here. It doesn't matter when it is or what it is, if it's raining or it's not, it's just always busy. And I might as well take you for a drive across the oldest bridge in Australia.
There's a couple of galleries.
Look at these little places on the left-hand side here. Really, really old cottages. Doing one up there. Yeah, you will. Al's covered this off before, the bridge and the church, but it is the oldest bridge in Australia.
Here it is here.
And it's also, we've got the oldest Catholic church just around the corner in Australia as well.
They do a bit of work down there. Yeah, the church is up on the left. Richmond schools here.
And we've mentioned it before, but one side of the bridge is supposedly haunted because they buried some dead bodies of people who were working on the bridge.
Or anyone who died, didn't they?
Yeah, they just put them inside the bridge. So, yeah, dogs have trouble going across one side of the bridge because they get spooked from something.
Which is really interesting, isn't it?
It is. Now, you've done a ghost tour down here as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I did. The ghost tour is really good. They, the one that I went on, it was like full moon. It was a special one. There's a cemetery just there. We went in there on the ghost tour, and they have all the. I don't know if you've ever seen videos where they have little monitors and video cameras and stuff like that.
You talking to me?
To everybody.
Oh, yeah.
And
because yes, I have. If you're talking to me, I've seen it.
You've seen them?
Yeah.
And we take those with. Well, we took them with us on this particular ghost tour, but they take you down, take you past the penitentiary, down underneath the bridge. We go to that cemetery. There's another older cemetery in town. The other church on the other side of town, and yeah, it's really quite spooky at night, especially if you do it in the winter time. Get a bit of fog happening, and the stories are fantastic.
If I can, I've got a ghost picture on my phone, which we can insert now, can we?
We could.
I will show everyone. It's a proper ghost from Port Arthur, and I've blown it up, and it is absolutely for real, and it looks like a convict from the old times.
Yeah,
but anyway, we'll chuck a
gives me
picture in.
goosebumps every time I think about it.
This is the oldest church in Australia, Catholic church, and it overlooks, I don't know if you can still see it, but it overlooks the Richmond River and the bridge, which you can't because all the trees have grown.
They certainly have.
And,
they certainly have grown.
Once again, you're pretty much on the flight path here into Hobart. Come straight over the top. Depending on me.
I might just go down so you can see the Richmond Bridge from that angle, and then I'll switch off until we get ourselves a car park. Do another little wander. Yeah, so that's a Catholic school just here. And the actual public school is over in the other part of town.
Oh, this is probably on another video, but we went into St David's Church. I'm not a church
there's
person.
The bridge down there.
But what an amazing, what a building.
Yeah.
It was just incredible, wasn't it? 1823 the bridge was built.
So we'll go for a little wander and show you the bridge and some of the old buildings and wares and...
Yeah, so as Elle said, we're really starting to get into the history of Tasmania and the old buildings, the convict trail, the Aboriginal trail, everything that's happened down here. We're really starting to get into it, so hope you don't mind us covering off a bit on that subject, because it's quite fascinating, isn't it?
It's very fascinating. Incredible. I'm going to hit stop record, and we'll be back with you in a bit. Apologies for the sound recording today. It was very, very windy, and I think we might have had a little bit of air noise in the car. Look, thanks for watching this video. It was a little bit of a drive out and around Richmond. In the next one, we'll just cover off what we did when we got there. It'll be a short one, and it'll be coming out tomorrow. So until then, I'll see you in the next one.